Hello to YouTube and welcome to part 2 of my Eminem Discography review. If you've not seen part 1, click the TV or click Metallica, whichever. But if you have seen part 1, welcome to part 2. The 2000s. This is when Eminem really starts to shine in the mainstream. Then he leaves, and now he's back, and all this schwiggly-bliggly. But I don't have much time. He has 5 LPs and an EP to talk about. So, let's get started. And the first album he released in the 2000s was called the Marshall Mathers LP, which was released back in the year 2000. And this was like the Slim Shady LP, but like bigger. He was a lot more serious on the serious songs, and even jokier, more outrageous on the comedy songs. Like the real Slim Shady, Kill You is one of those songs. It's kind of like a role model. It's just like outrageous but funny because it's like an upbeat. But there were songs like Kim, Bitch Please, which is like this massive cypher with Dr. Dre, Nate Dogg, Snoop Dogg, a shit ton of artists on there. And the songs like The Way I Am, which are like Kim, which are like serious songs. This is probably his biggest album. It's probably my favorite album he's done. There's just a lot of stuff on here that's very about him. And I love when rappers, any musician really, has passion behind their words. And my favorite song on here, Kim, is actually probably his most passionately done song. Even though I have the uncensored version, there's still parts that are censored. I mean, it's a very passionately done song. The album is just a phenomenal piece of work. This is the first album with the skits of Paul and Steve Berman that talk about the album. I recommend this to anybody. I mean, I'd recommend you listen to Slim Shady LP first so you can kind of transgress into this better, but this is just such a great album, and what follows is kind of a decline, but I'll talk about that in a couple of seconds. My favorite song is Kim, and God, this album is just so great. Like, I can't stress that enough. The one thing I have about it is the last 2 songs, Under the Influence and Criminal, I feel should have come before Kim. I feel they should have ended the album with Kim because it ends on such that just intense moment, you know, and it ends with where 97 Bonnie and Clyde begins, where he's dragging Kim back to his car. And I feel it should have ended on that note, but it doesn't. It's probably the one gripe I have with that album. But my favorite song is Kim. Yeah. And the next album he released was called The Eminem Show, which was released back in 2002. And this album was fairly big as well. It had a lot of popular songs of his, like Without Me, Cleaning Up My Closet, and Sing for the Moment was fairly popular along with Superman. To me, this album isn't as good as of a follow-up as Marshall Mathers was to Slim Shady, or as Slim Shady was to Infinite. I don't want to say that it's bad. I just feel that he was delving into different realms with his lyrical content, while having stuff there that is him, like Cleaning Up My Closet, and Say Goodbye to Hollywood, this song, to an extent. His daughter Haley is on the song My Dad's Gone Crazy. I mean, there are parts on here that feel like him. There's songs like Square Dance where I'm kind of just like, meh. I think White America is a monster of a track to open an album with. That's another one of those songs where he's just kind of delving into different realms. The beats, I don't like as much as the beats on Marshall Mathers. They seem more radio-friendly beats. I don't like the sample he did for Sing for the Moment, the Aerosmith sample. It's kind of eh. This is when he's becoming more anthemic as a rapper. Or at least choric as a rapper. His choruses are like the bigger parts of this album. He's working more on hooks. And I don't know, I don't like that completely. My favorite song, even though it was a single, Cleaning Out My Closet, just because I like the introspectiveness, or not the introspectiveness, but when he's rapping about himself, I like that. I like the passion he's bringing to his vocals. This actually probably has my favorite Slim Shady song also, the one where he's talking about through his character Without Me, because I like the thought he has, but it's just weird that he's thinking of it this early. But yeah. And the next EP he released is called Straight from the Lab, which is actually only released in Europe. But if you have the internet, you can get it. I've listened to it, obviously. And this feels weird. Most of the songs fit, but it doesn't feel like he's rapping. It's kind of like Infinite. Like, there are songs like Do Re Mi that take a stab at Ja Rule because they were in a beef with him at the time, and it just doesn't feel like him. It really doesn't. There's really nothing I could say about it. There's 7 tracks. Haley's on Do Re Mi. Not a fan. Bleh. I like this track. That's about it. It's short. Sorry. I don't know much to say. I really didn't dig it too much. Beats were songs were lyrical content was It just didn't do it for me. Let's move on. I have to talk about it because it's part of the discography, but didn't really like it. It's probably the shortest part of my discography reviews is this, but yeah. And the next album he released was called Encore, which was released back in 2003, and it's an interesting album because it feels like him based off of the Eminem Show, and there's like one song that really goes back to his early stuff, and that's Crazy in Love. Evil Deeds is kind of like that too, the older stuff, but it's brought back into this kind of style. Again, he's rapping more about different types of stuff, like Mosh is kind of a political song, like Toy Soldiers is talking about the rap game, and it kind of is a reflection on him doing the Straight from the Lab EP, where he was doing songs that were stabbing at Ja Rule. There were songs about his kids, like Mockingbird. It probably has some of my least favorite stuff by him, like Just Lose It and Ass Like That. They're just kind of weak sauce for me. Never Enough, and My First Single is okay. I mean, some of the songs on here just I don't feel like talking about, because I just don't really like. I don't feel that they live up to his what he had delivered in the early stuff, you know. And I'm not trying to sound like a hipster. Oh, like the early stuff, but really, I don't like the 2 albums, Encore and Eminem Show. I feel he's done better. This does have some good stuff though, like Toy Soldiers is probably one up there on my Eminem favorites list, along with Mockingbird and Crazy in Love, which uses the sample very well. Very, very well. It's my favorite song on the album. I think it does a very good job on that song. Yeah, that's all I got, people. I mean, the beats are pretty interesting. Some of them are like the Eminem Show. Some kind of go for the future, like Toy Soldiers does. He sounds okay. I feel I'm not saying much, and I'm sorry. I just don't have a lot to say about this album. I have a lot to say about the next album, though. So why don't we get to that? Favorite song is Crazy in Love. Yeah. The next album he released is called Relapse. It was released back in 2009, and this is kind of part 1 of the 2-part albums, Relapse and Recovery. He really came back on this album. Out of the 2, I love this album more. It's probably my second favorite Eminem album. He does a really, really good job on it. He brings back the dark, but even darker, like 3 AM. And he has the choruses from the previous 2, but it feels like he's back, you know? And I think he was like, that break really, I mean, he got messed up, but I mean, it showed him how to be Slim Shady well. The song Deja Vu is like something from Marshall Mathers along with Beautiful. Like, he's doing that kind of stuff. He does Slim Shady in a different light with Same Song and Dance, where he's talking about stalking celebrities, and he just does it so well. Like, My Mom is kind of a parody of his early stuff. Because, I mean, he opens with a line, I know you're tired of hearing about this, but I want to rap about it. And he talks about his, Valium addiction. It's just, it's very well done. I love this album. You have songs like Old Time's Sake, which are like, just good old-fashioned him and Dre songs. Like, it's just greatness. The beats are interesting at times. They're solid. Like, it's just good stuff. You have stuff for all types of scenarios. Like Crack a Bottle is a club beat. Same Song and Dance you can really dance to. You can kind of chill to, along with Hello, like the chill beats. And, I mean, he ends on this underground, this beat that's big, and it's just a great, great follow-up. I'm ecstatic to talk about it. This is the first Eminem album that I did analyze. The first one that got a lot of plays because I wanted to analyze it. This is the one that made me want to do the discography because I was like, wow, this is just so good. My favorite song is Hello. I like the way he does it. It's just solid, solid album. Yeah. And the most recent album he has released was called Recovery, which was released last year. And it's fairly different than Relapse. I like it the least out of the two. I like it more than Eminem Show and Encore to an extent. I kind of put them all on the same level. This album, I think he needed to make... Like, he needed Relapse to come out first, at least, to show he's still, Eminem. But this, I felt he wanted to make, or he needed to make. There's a lot of songs on here that I just, Cinderella Man is one of them, but it's more, it's ranked more than, like, Spacebound or No Love. I really don't like No Love. I don't like the sample. I think he could have done a better job with it. I think it opens well. Cold Wind Blows is a great opening track. I think he stomps on that track. I feel there was to an extent he was trying to make a poppier album, or poppier sounding album, which I don't like. There are some points where he stomps, like on Cinderella Man, there's some points where he's just killing the mic. I think he does a great job on it. But there are just points where I'm just kind of like, 25 to Life is another one of them. I think my least favorite song is Won't Back Down because I don't think Pink and him should ever collaborate. I didn't like it, thought it was weird. However, Love the Way You Lie. Actually, it's probably my favorite song, even though it's a single. I think it's a great song. I think that he and Rihanna just had something there that worked very well. I think that they had just a great song there, and I think that it was a wise choice for a single. The song is just great. I don't know. I'm hoping the career for Eminem gets better. Now that he's clean, I hope he makes good music. But that is Eminem. Sorry if it seemed kind of weird getting back into this. Time limit constraint feels weird to me. And be looking forward to more. Because I have a lot of stuff to do. A lot of reshoots to do. First I'm doing Eminem. Or first I did this. Then I'm doing Mudvayne for my first reshoot. I'm going to be reshooting a lot of my old ones that were taken down. But hopefully you guys liked this. As always, links to my favorite songs will be in the under thingy of this video and the other video if you haven't heard them before. Listen to them. Give me your opinions if you want. Do whatever. I've been Viral Rack. You guys have good days, love situations. And I will see you another day.